Today I'll be showing you how to install Drupal 8.2.3 onto your Ubuntu 14.04 computer using Nginx and php-fpm. So to begin, you have to first run these tools to get super user permission in your terminal. Then you need to check for a stable version for Nginx. After, you'll be needed to search in repository. Then you need to get an updated version for Nginx. I have already installed Nginx, so therefore the steps while installing might not be the same. But just install it, press yes, and continue, and everything should be installed properly. Then after doing that, install the update which you have just gotten and downloaded, and then you can start up Nginx using this piece of code. After you have done that, you need to install MySQL Server. So to install MySQL Server, you just run this code sudo apt-get install MySQL. Now when you're installing MySQL, it will ask you to enter your password for your super user, and you'll enter the most appropriate password which you can remember. So now that password is what you'll be using to go into your root user for your MySQL, like this. So now you can cancel it. Now you are going to be needed to install php-fpm. So to do so, just copy the code as usual. And now you need to configure that Nginx work with PHP and MySQL Server on Ubuntu. So to configure that, you are going to be needed to go to this file location and change CGI.fix path information from 1 to 0. So to do so, go to here. So using the most preferable file text editor, you can open that file and search for CGI info.info. There's it, CGI fix path info. It's supposed to be 1, now you just change it to 0. Save your file and you can continue. Now after you have done that, you need to restart your php-fpm once more. Now that you have done that, you need to ensure that PHP 5 works perfectly with Nginx. So to do so, you'll need to open this file location and uncomment these sections for your code. So normally it will look like this with the number signs at each location. All you need to do is to get rid of the number signs or the hashtags. So using a preferably text editor, you will do so. So right here at this location, you'll have it like this. And all you need to do is get rid of the comments, which is the number signs. Save your file, and you can continue. So, now that you have done that, Now that you have done that, you can now restart your Nginx server. So now, after you have restarted your Nginx server, you will then need to add a new file called php.info.php to the directory var/www/html. So inside of that new file, you'll need to have this piece of code. So you can create a new file, put that piece of code in it, save it, php-info.php. I'll save mine to documents, this folder here, chat music. So now that I have done that, now after I've done saving the file, now I'll use my terminal to move it to that file location, which is var.www/html. So now to do so, I'll just go to where I saved my file, just cd/documents. cd/documents, and instead of that, I'll go to install Drupal. And inside of that, I can now use sudo, because you don't have super user permissions. So type sudo move php info.php to the location, and voila, it has been moved. You can recheck to see that it has been moved, and you're done. So now that you have done that, you'll need to install php-gd. The reason why you need to install php-gd is because later on in the installation you might get errors because you haven't installed php-gd. So to do so, you use sudo php-5gd. So now that you have done all of that, you are going to be needed to create a new user and database for your website. So to do so, you're going to need to go into your super user root for your MySQL, type the password, and now create that new user. So to do so, you just run these codes. Now you need to run this code, and then finally you need to flush all privileges which you have just given to that user. Now after you've done that, you need to configure the new MySQL database. So you have to create a new database. So you type MySQL, and using the user which you have just created, which mine is user n, create a new database, which my database name is dbase_n. So now get out of this, and then okay, I just used the wrong password. Now you need to access your MySQL database now with the new user. And now grant all privileges to that new database that you have created. Grant these privileges to the database that you have created and that user. Now that you have done that, you have finished setting up your database.
So before we can install Drupal, we need to create a new virtual host for that same database. So inside so to create a new database, you first need to create a server file for it. So that server file, you'll need to copy all of these code from here to the end here. When you have done that, you should have a file looking like this. You can call that file any name which you have, like any name which you can remember, and anything you want. And right here you'll have that server name which I've already done here. You have server name and the exact location which you want it. So as you can see, the example.com and the Drupal 8. So this will be where your Drupal 8 folder will be. So let's do so. So for mine, my server name will be, I call mine Drupal ERP83, Drupal 8v3, and my Drupal folder will be at var www.html/drp83. So my Drupal site will be drp83. So now when I've done that, I can save the file. So now that I'm finished saving that file, now I need to move that file to etc sites available. So to do so, I can use this command. Let's change that right there. So I can use this command to do so. So let's go. Now that I have moved it, I need to add my virtual host server name which I've just created, which is drp83, to my server list in my computer. So I need to open this file in this location, and as I said, using your any text editor which you like, you can do so. So because 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 is used up, I'm going to add it as 5. Now when you have done that, you can save it and X. Now after doing all of that, you need to create a virtual link between the file in sites available with a new file in sites enabled. So to do so, I can run this code which I have here. You can edit the code because I'll have this file inside the description below. Now I need to restart my server. So now after you have restarted your Nginx server, you're going to be needed to extract the Drupal 8 zip or raw tar zip file which you have downloaded, which mine is the latest, which is 8.2.3. So now you need to extract that file. Now when you have extracted the file, you can rename it to anything which you like your site to be, which will be the name which you have already created inside of your host or your server file, which is drp83. So now you're going to be needed to go to sites/defaults inside of your terminal. So now inside of that file, we will use this. Inside of that file, you're going to be needed to copy these two folders and paste them, and call them service.yml and settings.yml. So now after you've done that, you'll need to create a new folder called files. When you're finished creating all of those new files and folders, you're going to be needed to give them a new permission. So that new permission is already done for you here, which is, so all you need to do is to just run these codes in that same file location inside of the terminal. Okay, I've read it. Wait, I went to the wrong file location. So, let's see. So now we can copy the permissions and place them there. So now that you have done that, you're going to need to place your new Drupal folder inside of the location which you have created inside of your server files. So now you can now use this code here to move it from where we are at. Or you could just move it yourself. Jump into it. Okay. So now we're going to just move that folder into that location, so we can use copy -a drp83 to /var html. So now that when we have finished doing that, we can now go to our browser. Okay, seems like I didn't copy the file properly, so now it's supposed to be copied. So now it's final time to install Drupal. So to install Drupal, you need to go to your browser and type the name of the site which you have given, which is a server name, which is drp83, which you have created, and it should load up your Drupal site. As you can see, Drupal 8.23, and so now press save and continue. Select standard as a profile and press save and continue once more. Now you're going to need to put in your database name, which ours is dbase n, and our username is user, and our password is of course password. So now press save and continue. So now for your password, you should create a far much stronger password, because I'm just using password for this video. So now the installation might take a while to start and end, so I'll just pause the video and come back at the configuration site page. So as you can see, it's supposed to come up on this installing page. So yes, well, we'll come back again. So now we are at the configurations page for the site. So now you give your site a name, which I'll call my Drupal 8 site. You can put in your email address, and then put in your username, which you'll be using to access your site, your password, confirm your password, and then finally you can put your country, and your time zone. Now that you have done that, before you press save and continue, it said all necessary changes to your site's default and site's settings that PHP file have been made, so I should change the permissions. So in order to do so, I'm going to go back to my tutorial thing which I have here, and I'll set my permissions. So to do so, I'll first go to the file location. So I'll go to cd/var/www/html/dp83. Yeah. And now that I'm inside that folder, I can just copy the codes from here, which I've already pre-made, paste it, and do so for the settings.php file. So now that I've done that, I can close my terminal and press save and continue. It will take a good amount of time before it comes up, so I'll just pause the video and come back. Okay, so as you can see, we have finished making our Drupal site and everything is okay. So now it's saying that we have not made the changes, so that's pretty weird. We should have made the changes, that shouldn't have happened. So, well, to be certain, let's do it again. So here's our code. Let's open our terminal. Let's go to our file location /var/www/html/p83, and now space this code. Sorry. No errors, as you can see. No errors again. That therefore means we have done it properly. So let's reload the page and see if it will come up again, and if not, then we're okay and we have done it properly. Oh, so it is okay, we have done it properly. So now we can see that we have done inside our Drupal 8 site. As you can see, our site name, we can edit that, we can go to put contents on our page, we can create a new structure, give it a new appearance, put extensions, modules, edit your profile, reports, people, configure your page. You can also go to help. This thing will bring it down, this thing will bring it up. This will go back to your main screen for your site. Yeah, so this is basically it, and now you have all the possibilities in the world which you can do with this and make whatever site is on your mind. Thanks for watching my video. Adios.